on the ball.
I think we are,
It's that
long since we...
It's that long since we went proper live. It's hard to remember across all the platforms. So happy Thursday and big welcome Instagram, YouTube and Facebook. Great to have you here. So this morning, actually yesterday evening, we had a box of silk flower samples delivered by O'Neill's in Carlingford, just to let you know what's available. Now I'm just going to concentrate on the autumnal range at the moment, because I did do a pre-recorded video earlier on of all the silk flowers, and anybody that's on the artificial silk flower range and programme at the moment, that has been added to your programme. And anybody that's over in the Bloom Studio, which is obviously all our past former trainees and students, I'm also going to add it over into the Bloom Studio. So just to save duplication. But I kept out separate all the autumn stuff. Like autumn is upon us. We can feel the nip in the air. You can definitely feel the drop in the temperature. And before we know it, it's going to be pumpkin season and Halloween. So there's some really nice stuff, okay, that they have in stock at the moment in O'Neill's in Carlingford. And just for anybody that hasn't actually purchased from them before, it is a wholesaler. You don't need to be trade. There's no minimum amount that you have to spend. They'll deliver the stuff all over the Republic of Ireland, but also Northern Ireland, all parts of the UK, England, Scotland and Wales, and also parts of Europe. It's worth contacting them. You can also avail of the school discount, which is KAYSFS, which gives you 5% discount, and also there'll be a postage charge on top of any deliveries. But there's nothing to stop you actually calling up and having a look at the stock yourself. And the pre-recorded video that I did earlier on the silk flowers that they have in stock, I did show how, if you're actually in the wholesaler, how you can put different items together to create a mock-up of the arrangement that you're planning to make, and that you can work out what amount of stock, you know what I mean, what amount of materials that you have to buy, because that can be a hard part. So make sure if you're in the artificial programme, go over and watch it, or if you're in the Bloom Studio, they're not actually posted yet, but they will be. So back to the autumnal range. So this is a range that comes out every year. It's always slightly different. So this would be the oak leaf, and this particular one has 3 main branches on it, okay? And on each branch there's 6 leaves. Now there's different ways you can use this. You can cut off the leaves individually and wire and tape them and use them in your artificial flower arrangements. You can leave the sprigs as they are, and you could glue them onto your twig rings if you're doing wall arrangements or door wreaths. You can leave the whole branch as it is, and again manoeuvre it around a little bit and use it in a flower arrangement, or cut them up separately and have like a group of foliage coming out to one side. This whole stem is only €4 for the whole stem. And one great thing about O'Neill's, the price includes the VAT. It's inclusive of the VAT. Where most other flower wholesalers, when you go to purchase artificial flowers from them, there will be 23% VAT added on top of the price. But O'Neill's, they actually includes the VAT, so at €4 that works out really, really good value. And as I said, it's so versatile, there's lots you can do with it. And before long, we will be starting our pumpkin fresh flower arrangements. We may do some artificial ones as well. And like other years, what I've often done is I've broken off these leaves individually, mounted them on the 20 gauge wires with some gutted tape, and I've used them as a feature in and out between the fresh flowers, just for the colour, you know, that way, and again a little bit of texture to the arrangement. So I find them, like, even to buy one stem, you get great value out of it. And again, another great thing about O'Neill's, you're not confined to that you have to buy 10 stems of the same item, or a bag of 6 or a bag of 20, you know, I mean, you can buy the items individual. Now this is a new leaf that I haven't actually seen before, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully you can see that there. So again, as a stem to use in a flower arrangement, I think it's beautiful. In a large artificial arrangement, to have that out to one side as a whole stem, again, I think it's beautiful. There's 3 main sprigs on it, so just manoeuvre it around there that you can see it. So again, if you were doing one of the twig wall arrangements, you could use floral foam, and you could use these as separate sprigs inserted into your floral foam. You could cut off some of the leaves individual, wire them on a 20 gauge wire and gutted tape and use them individual through it. or like what I suggested with your pumpkin arrangements. Again, the colour is beautiful, and it's not as, you know, in your face as this colour. It is more natural looking, and I think mixed through fresh flowers as well as the foliage, I think that's going to be very effective.
Somebody's saying the sun is still shining where they are, and they're not ready for it to go into the autumnal shades
I know,
yet.
and it's actually the same here in Dublin.
Yeah.
Like, we're in short sleeves. Deirdre's in a little vest top there. Well, Deirdre had the sweats this morning. And I should have started this off by saying, say where you're watching in from and what the weather is like. It's that long since I've done a live. I forgot my usual introduction. So again, anybody that is watching, comment below. Let us know where you're watching in from, and sure, tell us what's the weather like in your part of the world. But Deirdre left her house early this morning, and the husband shouted after her, the car is on fresh air. She was literally like the Flintstones, you know what I mean, getting to the garage. The 2 feet was pedalling the car, no petrol in it whatsoever, or no diesel in it. That was the problem. And he said, don't forget, he said, there's no diesel in that car, top it up. So she did. She drove to the Circle K garage on the Ontario, and she filled it to the top. 112 euros worth of petrol she put into the car. Took a photograph of herself. She was so smart. Took a photograph of herself to send it to the husband and say, look at me, I've done it right. I'm after filling the car with petrol. And he said, you're fucking gobshite, he said. The car takes diesel. So she had to move to one side, and then she had done that before in that same garage. So she knew
You're not supposed to say that.
So she knew they had a contact of somebody that would come out and drain it for you. So she had to go into the garage, head held low, asked them to get the details, rang the company, and they came out, and 112 euros worth of petrol was drained out of her car. Your man charged her 280 euro to do that, and then she had to then fill it with diesel. How much did that cost?
140 euros.
140 euros it cost her to fill it with diesel. So I tell you,
we better sell a few courses today because I'm broke.
You better buy something off us today. And we're not even selling this stuff. And I'm not even getting commission off it. I tell you, I'll have to plug something else to you. Where she's in bed, so she's sweating. She's in her t-shirt, there she is. The sweats are coming over. But anyway, back to our foliage. I do think this one is good value. Now this one, I have to say, I love this, okay? Like, listen, berry around this time of the year is brilliant.
A lot of people are saying bring on the autumn. They're ready for it.
The stem on this is very rustic, so it's very, very natural. You'd actually think it was a natural twig. And even feeling it, you'd nearly be looking for the thorns on it. So again, if you're looking for some berry that looks like this, doesn't look plastic or, you know, tacky, I think it's very, very impressive. And this one is only working out at 8 euros for the whole stem. Now again, you could cut off the individual sprigs, and you could use them in your floral foam on your twig rings if you're doing door wreaths. You could use them glued straight onto the twig ring, again if you're doing door wreaths, etc. You could use the separate sprigs in your flower arrangements. You could break up the individual sprigs of berry, and they wouldn't need a wire on them because there's no stem on them. And again, mount them onto a 20 gauge wire with gutted tape. Each sprig has 5 little berries on it. And to add in and out through, again, if you're going to do them fresh pumpkin arrangements and you're looking for a bit of orange berry. But I would also be thinking about Christmas. I know we haven't even got over autumn yet, but I think this colour is going to be fantastic with the red Naomi roses or the red Freedom roses. I just think the reds and the orange, again, around Christmas time, definitely going to be good value.
Yvette is saying that the weather is overcast and rainy here in Bilston, West Midlands. That's where we're going for.
No, we're going to East Midland.
Oh, is that okay? Right, yeah, you're right.
So it's the other side of the Midlands.
Oh, it's the other side of the Midlands.
She's on one side and we'll be on the
Okay,
other.
we're going to
you
the
go
East
back
Midlands.
in your box
Okay.
there, will you? You go back in your box. She's still not with it today. But like talking about East Midlands, Florex. So Florex would be like, in Ireland, I'd compare it to the Ideal Home exhibition, but on a smaller scale, okay? So Florex is run by the British Florist Association in the UK once a year. And I think the last two years it has been in the East Midlands, and this year is going to be the same. It's a 2-day event. It's a Saturday and a Sunday, the 4th and the 5th of October. It's well worth going. We go to it every year. So lots of the suppliers will have a stand at it. So I know in previous years, like all the flower companies, flower growers, they would have stands. Like Floral Box from Ireland, he would have a stand. Irish Green guys from Ireland, they would have a stand. A lot of the sponsors that sponsored us for the Florist of the Year awards, like Digital Florist in the UK, they will be there. Details Florist from America, they will be there. Strelitzia software, they will be there. Hook.
Flory Smart.
Meryl has just brought out her new floral planner for next year. Deirdre has posted a video. Did you do it on Facebook?
I don't.
Might be on
actually can't
Instagram,
remember.
just on Instagram at the moment, but we will post it over on Facebook. She is taking pre-orders, and it is an amazing floral planner. Anybody that's in a flower shop or in the business, definitely worth investing in it. Anyway, Meryl will more than likely be there with her flower planner, but definitely as Flowery Smart. Loads of companies. So you have one room where it's going to be all the stands.
Exhibitors, yeah.
And then in another room, there will be all demonstrations going on. I'm not sure exactly who's demonstrating this year, but going on other years, it's fantastic. And they bring in the world experts, you know what I mean? Maybe the winner of the Florist of the Year, Max
But the competition
from Poland.
but the winner, or the competition will also be for the British Florist of the Year will be on then. So
And
they
then
see
they
all their work.
represent Britain next year in the World Cup, or whenever it actually comes around again. So going on other years, like I know Sabine Durrell was there one year, she was amazing. Flower Circus, they were there. Morgan from the UK is doing the host or commentary at it. Like it's always good, definitely recommend. And the great thing,
And there's all little mini workshops on, social media workshops, branding workshops all around.
So they have like little classrooms, and there'll be a list up, and you can go into like an AI class, a branding class, a social media class, a floral foam class. James from Irish Green Guys is doing a foliage class. So there'll be classes going on throughout the day, and you can pop into a class and attend.
And they're all included in your ticket. Now there is also workshops that you can actually book into.
And Karen Massey from Flirtatious.
Well, I think hers is a free one. I think hers is she's just doing a demo.
One.
Yeah, she's a free
demo. So she'll have a demonstration going on. As I said, I think it's €67 for the ticket for the 2 days, but I would say you'd well do it in 1 day. So if anybody wanted to fly out and fly back, you know what I mean, on the 1 day, it's very, very doable.
And you get cheap flights to the East Midlands.
Yeah, and the West Midlands probably as well. And as in the €29 and the €59 flight, you know what I mean, the Ryanair. And what we have done is we have flew out early in the morning, you know, like on the 6 o'clock flight or whatever. That I hate that flight, but you know what I mean, on that early flight in the morning, and you're there in plenty of time. It's about a half an hour away from the airport, and sometimes we fly into East Midlands, and depending on the time, sometimes we fly home from Birmingham. You can fly into Birmingham as well. It's a half an hour one way or a half an hour the other way. So again, pick the airport that you're going to fly into by the times that suits you. And like the years that we did it, on the 1 day, like we were able to get like the 7 o'clock flight home in the evening and the 6 o'clock flight home or out there in the morning. Definitely worth going. We're going, and I know there's lots of the Case Flower School students going. We're all going to meet in the Ryanair
Lounge.
The Ryanair private lounge, dear, the private lounge. We're going to meet in the Ryanair private lounge. You're all going to buy us drinks, and it'll be great crack. So we'll have more information on that, but just put that in your diary anyway.
I think it's the 3rd and 4th of October. It's that weekend, or 4th and 5th.
Whatever the Saturday and the Sunday is, okay?
Yeah.
So, and we'll put the details of the tickets, but if you go over to the British Florist Association site, they have all the details.
Yeah,
up
Celine,
there.
if you're watching, you might tag the British Florist Association, or somebody might tag them in the comments. But if you're on our email list, I will be sending out an email in the next week or so.
And an invite for the private Ryanair lounge. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so that's stem 3 stems. Now the next items I have, I fell in love with these, okay? I can't open these bags because I'm sending all these items back to O'Neill's, okay? So this is a bag of kind of like a velour-y velvet pumpkin. There's 7 or 8 of them in the bag. They're different shades and they're different sizes. Like, so there's a great selection of them in them. Like, but they're kind of made on like a styrofoam aeroboard base. So if you're using them in your flower arrangements, you could use your kebab stick, you know, your wooden skewer stick. Stick your wooden skewer stick into the base of it and then press it down into your floral foam. If you want to include them in your hand-tied bouquets, get the long sticks that you would use to support a plant, okay? You can buy them in the wholesalers, but you buy them in the garden centres as well. And again, stick the top of the stick into the end of your pumpkin and then place it into your hand-tied bouquet, and it just gives your autumnal bouquets that real, you know, October pumpkin season, very, very effective. Now the bag of them is only €5, including the VAT. Now I actually think that's for nothing, and I was saying to Deirdre, I might actually swipe this out of the box. I think if you glued them together and made a little feature, like a little mountain out of them, you know what I mean, and just to have on your hall table or your kitchen island or your coffee table or whatever you want to use, just as a little feature, Now the reason why I'm suggesting gluing them together in a little mound is that every time I clean to the table I wouldn't have to move them and fix them all again and then put them away for the following
Like
year.
even a little wooden plate or a wooden
then you
board,
could just lift the
plate up. And
you could probably pick up like a
wooden chopping board out.
Wooden chopping board, cheese board. Jeez, we're getting very posh here. Now, the next two items weren't top of my list. Now, you know me, that's why I'm not an influencer, okay? And this is why we don't get sponsorship. Because if I don't like something, I don't like it, and I don't keep my mouth shut, I tell you. So I wasn't mad about this box, okay? I also didn't think it was as good a value, okay? So this box here is $11.50. There's a couple of leaves in the box, like individual leaves, which is quite similar to these ones here that I suggested you could cut up individual. And this is only €4 a stem. And then there's a couple of, just turn around the front there, there's a couple of pine cones, okay? There's tiny, tiny little pine cones as well. Just a few of them. So you probably have them left over from Christmas anyway, or you're getting them in for Christmas. And then there's about, 6 or 7, but they're more of a plastic pumpkin rather than the flocked one. Now that's not to say that you think these are divine and you love them and you think that they're great value as well. They're not actually plastic because they're on a styrofoam base as well, and all the suggestions that I made using the stick will work as well. So I'm not saying don't buy them, but if it was me, I'd buy 2 of them for 1 of them. Buy 2 instead of the other one. And that's my opinion. As I said, I don't get paid to say, buy these are great. You know what I mean? And if something I don't think is as good as I say it's shite, I'm not mad about that one.
Okay, somebody's trying to...
Is O'Neill's on giving out?
No, he's not yet. No, but he probably will in a little bit. Anne Craddock says, sorry, to say she's in sunny Trinidad.
Oh, lovely. Absolutely gorgeous. Brilliant. Is that Anne Craddock that does the artificial wreaths in the UK? Is that you or are you a different Anne Craddock? Okay, the next one. Now, wouldn't be bottom of the list, but definitely wouldn't be top of the list, okay? But I think for any of you out there that are doing workshops yourself, pumpkin workshops, I think this would be good value. It is a lot less expensive, it's $5.50, so I definitely think 2 of them would be better value than that one there, in my opinion, okay? I have to keep saying that, okay, in case Garode gives out to me. Now, they're smaller, they are, right? And there's a good selection in them, and there's green ones, brown ones, and orange ones, okay? And again, you can use the little wooden skewer or the kebab stick, but also if you're doing twig rings, like wall arrangements, you could glue these on, no problem. There's a couple of little pine cones, and there's them,
gourds.
Yeah,
gourds,
yeah, that's actually what they are, but I was thinking they were
butternut squash.
Butternut squash. They look like butternut squash. But anyway, there's more down in the bag. So, you know what I mean, they are nice, especially if you're looking for something small and detailed, and for giving out for the participants in your workshops, they would be good value, so $5.50. But definitely top of the list. This was my favourite, okay? So there was 9 pumpkins in this box. And these were $11.50. Now again, I know I sound really bitchy. $11.50? $11.50. $11.50. $11.50. Like they're both the same price. I think these are gorgeous. I actually think they're good value. I think you put the wrong price on them. And even though I loved these, and I still love these, and these are the ones that was €4, €5 for the bag of them, okay? So these are double the price. But I think if you bought the 2 of them, okay, now the difference would be is these ones have a little hand-tied string tied in a bow on them. But you listen, any of our students, you all have hand-tied string. None to stop you sitting down at night time watching the telly and tie a little bow with hand-tied string around the top of them. And you'd have then the mixture of sizes, you know what I mean, to put them together. And I think in your hand-tied bouquets, one of them would be absolutely beautiful, stood on a stick. So 9 into $11.50, probably $1.50. I'm not a mathematician, okay? I actually think they are fantastic value. And again, if you were making your little mound of pumpkins, like to buy these ones as well and mix them together. So that was the autumnal pumpkin range. They could have more stuff in.
Anne says she's in the UK, she's on holidays in Trinidad, and she crochets pumpkins to use as well.
Well, why don't you post some photographs of them if you have them on your phone there? When you're sitting on the beach, tanning your arse, getting sunburned, why don't you post some photographs there in the comments there? And you never know, you could flog a few. And if you do sell a few, send a few bob over to Deirdre to pay for all that petrol and diesel this morning. So now I have to do a little bit of flogging for myself, okay, to try and get a wage out today. So for anybody that still needs their own tool belt, okay, the straps go much longer on these. These are fantastic for holding your scissors, your knife, your money, your protein bar, your packet of plasters, and all your bits and pieces. And for anybody, whether it's doing our classes or working in a flower shop, especially if they're doing events, etc., it's well worth investing in a tool belt. To keep yourself nice and clean, so you're going to need a Florex apron. And these aprons have 2 big pockets in the front, and again for storing your money, your chocolate bar, or your scissors, or your knife. For any of our students, we're always talking about taking notes, you know what I mean? I'm probably old-fashioned, I'm all on for the notebook, taking down the handwritten notes, and any notebook will do. But sure, listen, wouldn't it be absolutely gorgeous to have a pink case Flower School notebook that says, fill in, fill in, fill in a Dublin accent for keeping all your notes. So we have these available. And last but not least, we also have our turntables, and again they're pink. You won't get a pink turntable anywhere else in the whole world. So again, you can go with your pink notebook and your pink eyes when you're gone buggy-eyed watching all our videos. These are all available for sale on our Floral Sundries section on our own website, and if you use our discount code KAYSFS, you get 10% discount off the prices. You only get 5% in O'Neill's, but you get 10% discount off our prices here at Case Flower School. And we also do a bundle, and I can't remember what's in the bundle, but we do a bundle where you can get a turntable, a tool belt, and something else for, again, a discounted price. And if you use the discount code, it works out even cheaper. Do you think we sell any down there?
I don't know, Jesus. We'll have to
There's
sell
a lot of money we've to make. €208 to drain the diesel out.
And he's probably after taking that tank of diesel back to his own house and selling it off. I was like, would you not take the €112 off the price of taking the diesel out? Like, because
you to ask him. And you even gave me a little tag and all. You even got a shout out on Instagram.
Somebody's just saying about the World Cup and how amazing it was.
Oh, do you know what? It was absolutely the best. It was just amazing.
Noreen has put the link to the Sundries page.
Thanks Noreen. And if you get a chance, like, you know what I mean, when it comes around again, I would definitely recommend it. Like 2 years ago, we went to the one in Manchester, which was run by Flora, and again, it was fantastic as well. There was different participants, but it was. And then, no, it was hectic. But it was hectic because, like always, you know what I mean, we took on a right handful of things to do, and we took in the growers and the breeders. And what we've been doing over the, you know, the past few days, but listen, this is going to keep us a week or two going. We have hundreds of videos showing you behind the scenes, and some really, really interesting videos as well, if I say so myself. And Deirdre even wrote a blog on it. Noreen, can you find the link to the blog? And maybe I'll find it myself if you can't. And I'll go and put the link to the blog of the World Cup. We would really, really appreciate if you popped over, clicked on it, because that sends our website, you know what I mean, you know, sends up the analytics on it when you all click on it. But it's actually very interesting, and again, it's behind the scenes information. So you get a chance, you know what I mean, and you like flowers, definitely check out the blog on the World Cup. But keep an eye out on our Instagram to see behind the scenes, whether it be Sweet Pea, whether it was sex among flowers. It turned out like a bit of a porno site in some of the episodes, but it was all to do with flowers. Like no human beings were harmed during the video. Seeing the artificial rain in the greenhouses, not that we need artificial rain coming from Ireland, but it was really an eye-opener, and it was very, very interesting.
Somebody's saying she loves the banter, loves the workshops and stuff that we do. And we do have a new free workshop coming up. It'll probably be next week, the hydrangea wreath.
Yeah. So I pre-recorded that all there last week, and that is ready to go up. And again, there's lots of behind the scenes. So I'll have some videos going up very soon on the Instagram and Facebook. Don't do it yet because it's not going to work. And you know the way we say our magic words. And when you put the magic word hydrangea, it's not going to work now, so don't do it. When you put the word hydrangea in the comments, you'll automatically get a link back showing you a step-by-step how to pick the hydrangeas in Dublin, rob the hydrangeas out of your own garden, obviously. Get your hydrangeas, treat them, condition them, and again, from scratch right through to making the hydrangea wreath, even to tying it up on the whole door. We have the whole thing done as a video. Deirdre is just editing it and putting it all together. So they'll definitely be interesting. And even if you've seen last year's one, this one is a better one. Do you know that way? Because we have a lot more information in it.
Yeah, no, I think that's all. I think that's...
Will we try and flog the module one?
You maybe do, yeah,
Not
because you
just
might,
yet,
yeah,
because we haven't got much money on the turntables.
No,
have we?
no.
Okay, so obviously our main business is professional, commercial, retail floristry training. So for people who want to make a career, you know, that way, start their own business, maybe doing flowers as a hobby, do you know what I mean, using your pumpkins, etc. But now you'd like to make a few bob out of it and turn it into something more commercial rather than hobby. Because flower arranging is absolutely wonderful. I can definitely recommend it, but it's an expensive hobby where it's much, much better if you're still enjoying it, but you're actually making a few bob out of it. So we normally start our students on module 1, that's the commercial flower arranging. And this is where you learn everything about not just the wholesalers, the growers, the breeders, the buying, the costing, the stem count, the treatment, the conditioning, everything that you need to know about the fundamentals and basics of flower arranging, both the practical side and the business side, is all covered in module 1. And as I always say to our students, you know, that way, or people inquiring about the classes, we're known as the school that keeps on giving. So even though we have a syllabus that we are told this is what you need to cover with your students to be certified, we go that, I'm not even going to say a bit further, we go a lot further. So the great thing is you can work at your own pace. If you're one of these and you say, do you know what, I just want to sit back, enjoy the course and just do, you know what I mean, what I have to do for certification, absolutely fine. You know, whether it be MBQ, CT and Guilds, you can just do the basic training. But if you're a bit ADHD and the whole lot, CDEF thrown in, and you're saying, well, I want to get my money's worth out of Case Flower School, and I want to learn even more and more and more, we have added all these extra chapters to the tutorials for anyone that wants to work faster, anybody that feels they can work faster, and anyone that wants to get a lot more out of the course. But there's absolutely no pressure on anybody else. With all of our courses, it's one-to-one mentoring, so literally individual mentoring, talking to you, you sending me photographs and videos, and you know me, what I say is what I say, so whether it be good feedback, bad feedback, it all happens in the WhatsApp and nobody else knows what's going on because I'm talking to you as an individual, it's not a group situation. And for anybody that's a little bit more advanced, we have Module 2, which is a continuation of Module 1, and that's where we bring you on to teaching you how to do hand-tied bouquets. Remember, we're going to add our pumpkins into them, our spiral technique, wrapping, packaging, flat bouquets, gift bouquets, but also sympathy tributes, remembrance sprays, funeral wreaths, etc. That is all covered on Module 2. And the same thing, we have our basic syllabus, and then we have, for those that want to go that little bit further. And then we have Module 3, that would be wedding floristry, bridal floristry. It is that little bit more advanced. Again, there's lots of different designs, and we give you a breakdown of exactly the stem count, because that's the hardest part of a bridal. How much do I buy in, what will it cost me, and what will it sell at? Everything is covered on our commercial courses.
Yeah, no, that's it. There's a couple of people saying what date is starting.
Oh, the 15th of September. But you know what? If you put the word taster in the comments below, T-A-S-T-E-R. If you put the word taster in the comments, you'll automatically get a mini sample flower arranging course, which will give you an idea what it's like to do an online course with us. You can experience it. Okay, we don't send you out the materials and the flowers on that free course, but again, you get the idea of how it actually works. You get to see my style of training, because I'm a lot different to most other educators out there. So you get
and we definitely saw that at the weekend.
Oh, we absolutely see that at the weekend. But again, it'll just give you a chance to experience it. And then if you want to WhatsApp me with any questions, you can talk to me on a one-to-one. And again, I'll give you a help. And like when you WhatsApp me, it'll be me you'll be talking to. Not that that might be good or bad. You know the way sometimes with these companies, you'll be talking to somebody out in Pakistan, you know, that sort of way, Jimmy in Pakistan. When you ring us here or you WhatsApp us, it'll either be myself or Deirdre that you'll be talking to. Or even if one of the other girls answers the phone, they will put you onto us that we can discuss your floristry requirements. Now I better shut up and get this box all packed up. And listen, thanks a million for joining in. I'd love if you shared this. So again, if you're in any flower clubs, etc., share on our video. As I said, things are bad here this week. Deirdre's after costing us a bloody fortune with the petrol and the diesel and the whole lot. So again, keep that date for Florex in mind, write it up in your diary, and I'll be back in touch with you with more information. Talk to you all soon. See you then. Bye bye.